These sounds have the ability to touch your soul. This atmosphere is filled with the divine ripples and vibrations which can so easily raise your consciousness and elevate you spiritually. For thousands of years, India's cultural heritage has attracted countless visitors who have come to experience these vibrations, and in the process, many have transformed their mind, body and soul. But is it true that most of India's youth is innocently unaware of their own living heritage? India's fast industrialization and the increasing dominance of Western commercial monoculture have prompted many Indians to join the race in which instant gratification and temporary treatments are overshadowing a permanent cure. As a result, many are not even equipped with the fine-tuned senses that are required in order to benefit from their own golden heritage and to deeply experience this magical land that has touched and transformed so many lives globally. But is India fighting back and doing something to protect and preserve its cultural heritage? Mr. Arun Sahai of SPICMACAY has an interesting perspective.
There is a pressure on academics to perform, to excel, to get into the better institutions. In this pressure to study, a logical thought is that no time for culture. But that's a big mistake. This is the culture that will help you to be more productive in your study. You can study in lesser time.
In 1977, IIT Delhi professor Kiran Seth founded an organization called SPICMACAY, which aimed to promote India's traditional music and culture. Today, SPICMACAY has become a massive movement. Every year it conducts thousands of events and culture workshops across the country. For his exceptional contribution to the arts, Dr. Kiran Seth was awarded the Padma Shri by the Government of India.
We were thinking about, once we had sort of done it in IIT, or even before that I think, we were just thinking about what should be done to get the youth involved with something like this. So there was, Arjun was, one of our batchmates, and he was doing very well. He was HCL, top boss. We had Mahinder Malu, who had studied with me in Columbia University. He was also doing very well. And then there was a student of Hindu College by the name of Babi Barua. And we were all four of us just sitting in Arjun Malhotra's mother's house in Maulana Azad Medical College. She used to teach in Maulana Azad Medical College, his mother. And we were just discussing what we should do, and many such ideas came up. And I think the idea of SPICMACAY did evolve in that, in those discussions.
Organizing yoga workshops, theater shows, lectures, conventions, musical fest, craft workshops, SPICMACAY is doing everything to familiarize the youth of India with their own country. Their primary target is schools and colleges, as it is the young kids and students who will be the audience of tomorrow. This is Anvesha Mahanta. For more than 2 decades, she has been practicing and researching Assam Satya music, dance and theatre. Her formal lessons started under the exceptional guidance of one of the most eminent gurus of Satya dance, Sri Ganakanta Bora. Their performance was greatly appreciated by the audience. During the next few days, they spent time with the young students in IIT Kharagpur, where the SPICMACAY International Convention was being held. These inspiring workshops helped the IIT Kharagpur students to get familiarized with their country's traditions and heritage. Anvesha thinks that it is important to spread awareness.
And even in India, in few places, they haven't heard much about it. So this becomes a challenge. But one thing, whenever a dancer with conviction moves ahead and has faith in the dance form and the training, she chooses her path and moves ahead.
SPICMACAY is a voluntary movement with about 2,000 volunteers. Retired people, young professionals, teachers, housewives, students. It is the sheer dedication of these volunteers which has brought the organization to where it is today.
The core strength of SPICMACAY lies in its volunteers. This movement has been what it has only because of the volunteers. The inspiration that Dr. Kiran Seth is enabled the volunteers to understand this philosophy of Nishkam Seva, what can be roughly translated in English as selfless service.
These efforts are bearing fruit too. The impact can be seen in many youngsters who are now very keen to participate in this voluntary movement.
I went to a missionary school for the first, from class 1 to 10, and there I remember going to the father of the school and telling him multiple times about SPICMACAY, and we must have a concert because I see every school having a concert and my friends talk about it, so I want to have one too. And he never used to have one. I remember finally in class 7 when I finally lost it and I ended up speaking in the considerably loud volume to the principal about why can we not have it and this is so important, and you talk about such big things, when he finally gave in. So that was the first kind of concert that I myself managed to get organized, or at least get a venue for.
There is a section of Indian society which has woken up and realized that they must do something to protect and preserve their ancient traditions and heritage. Otherwise, it may just be too late.
So I really want people to know about our cultural heritage, to appreciate it, because when I go to my own dance class, I see little girls from class 4 years old to mothers with their own daughters dancing there, learning an absolutely new art form. And I want to be a part of this movement to help people associate with our own culture, and so that we can proudly, make anybody else who comes to our country experience it. We don't need to, ask someone or maybe Google it. We ourselves will be the live, dictionaries to it. We can pass it on as human beings to one person to the other.
Priksha has been a Bharatnatyam dancer since her childhood. SPICMACAY is now a part of her life. The organization is a great example of how a volunteer-driven non-profit can contribute to preserving the diversity and richness of Indian culture by focusing on music, dance and its various art forms. Its 2017-18 activity report shows 4,124 events in 468 places. It has done a phenomenal job by bringing India's top artists together and giving them a platform to connect with India's youth. For these artists, it is a fulfilling experience to inspire their youth through their exceptional talents. Today, SPICMACAY has become a nationwide cultural movement. Millions of students are being engaged. Its spirit of Nishkam Seva is helping India to preserve these movements, rhythms and vibrations. These are India's sounds. These are India's colors.